Hey team, welcome back to the Wilson Combat Channel. We're at Wilson Combat Central in Berryville, Arkansas. We're going to talk to you today about men's fashion, or actually fashion in general. I am not the best person to talk about that. I did once publish an article in Gentleman's Quarterly, the fashion magazine, but they never asked me to model for them, and there are good reasons for that. We're going to talk about this garment, which has many names. Among some on the gun-related internet, it's the Shoot Me First vest, because this type of vest is so popular for concealed carry. The theory is bad guys will walk in to do their armed robbery, see you wearing one of these, assume that you're a threat, and shoot you first. Interesting theory, but no one has ever shown me a case of that ever happening. And to understand why they're so popular with the concealed carry world, first, we have to understand why they were so popular before that with people who don't necessarily carry guns. The nature of the vest is such that you can get it in lighter or heavy material, but it adapts to all different kinds of weather and all different types of layered clothing. In cold weather, it's actually snowing here in Arkansas today, you simply wear warmer clothes underneath or wear an overcoat above it. But what we've got above all is pockets, stuff on your person. And those of us who work in emergency services have found that when the crap hits the fan, anything that's not on your physical person or within arm's reach is probably never going to get deployed on your behalf. So let's talk. Let's take the guns out of it for a minute. You hear Shoot Me First vest. Before that, it was the outdoorsman's vest. It was the fisherman's vest. Photographer's vest. I often get asked, are you a photographer, just because I'm wearing it? And taking pictures is part of my work, so I tell them honestly, yes. You'll notice a lot of them are cut with the pockets in the shape of camera lenses. And in the old days, they would hold canisters of film. Where I get most questions about it is in the airports. Where do you get that cool travel vest? So let's talk about that. Let's say it's one of the many days I'm a frequent flyer where I've got to take a long plane ride. Well, I've got my sunglasses, which of course also double as safety shooting glasses. There's a pocket for eyeglasses and a pocket for spare eyeglasses. I've got my writer's notepad with pens, a flashlight, business cards, backup notepad, because you never know how many notes you'll need to take, and more pens, because they always die when you most need them. Moving on, the cell phone. Don't be without it, it's your emergency communication. And the backup cell phone. Because it might be a long flight and they don't serve good food anymore on commercial aircraft, a sandwich, COVID mask, backup sandwich, assorted toiletries, Q-tips, flossers. I left the toothbrush that's usually there at home, forgive me. And because they don't serve much besides peanuts and pretzels anymore, some nutritious, healthy breakfast bars, sinful candy bar, we have mints, we have eye drops. We have hand sanitizer that you never want to be in the same pouch as your eye drops for obvious reasons. And because it might be a long flight, bottle of water, bottle of caffeinated beverage of choice, a hardcover book to get you through the flight, in case you finish that, a softcover book to get you the rest of the way through the flight. For hygiene, some pre-moistened wipes. And that will do it for now. But now let's get back to our original topic. If you're carrying guns, we assume you're not aboard a commercial aircraft. There's also a place for a fully loaded Smith & Wesson 357 Magnum, in this case the Model 340 M&P. In its sticky brand pocket holster, and a speed strip of spare ammunition. And why we're wearing the vest in the first place, it's long enough with enough drape that it conceals a full-size fighting pistol, Wilson Combat Beretta Centurion, spare 18-round Medgar magazine. And that, my brothers and sisters, is immediately within reach and will get you through the night, and that's before we start looking at the cargo pants. Now, why this for concealed carry? We mentioned the drape factor that allows you to carry, the full-size pistol and a comfortable outside the waistband holster. This one by Master Holster. The mag pouch is Galco and a Bullman belt. Why is this the garment of choice in the concealed carry sport, IDPA? Go to an IDPA match, you'll see 9 of these for every 1 of any other cover garment, where cover concealment is required on virtually every stage. For one thing, the sleeveless design of the vest gives you much more range of movement in the arms and shoulders. When you start having to get some of the stages where you might start seat belted in a car, you've got to shoot under a table, awkward positions, gives you much, much more range of movement. Now, different people call these by different names, as I said. My strangest one, I was standing outside my mother-in-law's house dressed like this. 10-year-old kid comes by on a bicycle, stops a few feet in front of me, and I thought he said, "Are you a psychologist?" And I said, "Did you ask, am I a psychologist?" He said, "No, I asked, are you a paleontologist?" I told the kid, "No, son, I'm one of the dinosaurs." And he smiled and drove away. And I realized either that kid's mother needs to make him stop watching Jurassic Park stuff, or I need to rethink my wardrobe. But the fact of it is, you're seeing these all over the country. We've never had a case of the shoot me first thing going on, but you've seen why it's such a versatile and convenient garment. Now, there are all kinds of makers. The one that I'm wearing here is an EOTech. It's a Fernando Coelho design, and I had the privilege for several years of shooting on Team EOTech with shooters like Bob Vogel and Ted Yost, national and world champions. And they appreciated this vest, and they had some design input into it. In fact, Coelho reached out to a pantheon of our top instructors, people like the late Pat Rogers and Super Dave Harrington, for this design. The EOTech is no longer made, but you'll find some of the same features in the 511 vest and the Scott E vest, which actually is a lower profile than this, a little bit more fashionable, but still has all the different pockets for all the different accoutrements. For competition in IDPA, what many of us went to, myself included, was the armadillo vest, and it was aptly named. It was kind of like wearing a shell. The armadillo vest is long to cover a long barrel pistol in a holster, and it's made of a heavy canvas-like material. The pockets were limited. There was actually only 3, a breast pocket here, and 2 large side pockets that were so designed that if you pouched them out, they would stay open. And for something like dumping a spare magazine when you did a tactical reload or a reload with retention, it was faster than hell and very handy. It was fast for the draw, faster than the typical garment like this for a couple of reasons. Your softer garment, as you start to clear it, the fabric will sort of bend and can flop around. The much more rigid armadillo, as the heel of the hand hit it, the whole thing would sweep away and give you faster access. The other reason I felt it might be faster, and this is more subjective, the damn thing was so ugly, I figured any self-respecting pistol would want to get out from under it. These things I found to be very useful as a part of the concealed carrier's wardrobe and in ordinary daily life. Now, we have a comment section at the end of every Wilson Combat YouTube video. We read your comments, and it's from many of those comments that the next content will derive. One thing I'd like to ask you for, if you've ever actually found a case of someone being shot first because they walked into a crime scene wearing one of these, let us know. We need to know where it happened, when it happened, and actual names, or something like a news clip, not, someone who calls himself Net Ninja 1 posted that it might have happened on, gunfighter.com or something. It's one more fashion option for you, and it's one more very valid concealed carry option. And even if you don't carry a gun, it can be an awfully useful thing in daily life. So we leave it up to you. It'll probably be my only commentary on fashion on YouTube. But we're looking forward to hearing from you, and we hope you found it of interest. Stay tuned to the Wilson Combat channel. We'll see you next time.